I used to dream about this when I was a kid. A boat somewhere out on the open sea. And now, here I am. I became a diver. I spend a lot of time underwater. When I'm diving, I usually follow the tracks of creatures other people try to keep clear of. Most people are afraid of sharks, but I'm fascinated by them. I'll do anything to get close to them. I cannot get enough of them. I photograph them and I bask in their presence. Sharks are wonderful. The camera is my constant diving companion. We have thousands of diving hours together. We've been to the Red Sea, the Caribbean Sea, Indonesia and the Pacific Ocean. And everywhere we go, we've got just one thing on our mind. There's a commonly used hand signal among divers, raising the side of the hand to the forehead with the thumb facing the head. This means shark. Besides admiring sharks, I also feel sorry for them and I worry about them. Why? Because they're not the ones endangering us. Humans are the ones wreaking havoc on them. My name is Daniel Shelmetsy. I started out as all divers do. I took my exams, bought my equipment and began diving. Then I had my first encounter with a shark and everything changed. It all started years ago. It was just like a dream, an American dream. This is Florida, just like on a picture postcard. Palm trees, sunshine, the sea, another world. And, by the way, it's also a gateway to the Bahamas. Boats transport divers to the archipelago encircled by tropical coral reefs. This is the vessel Shearwater, a 65-foot boat with an 800-mile range.
Good morning.
Her captain is Jim Abernathy, a permanently cheerful fellow who knows sharks better than anyone on the boat, including me. On the journey, Jim gives us a quick lesson in sharks. He explains how to behave around them and shows us a few terrifying videos too. But the footage couldn't dissuade me from seeking a close encounter. I was way too determined. The following morning, Jim was right. Sharks are swarming around the boat. I'm getting ready to take photos of sharks, yet I'm not wearing a diving suit. I'm going to take some photos with interesting compositions that are called split shots. These are photos taken partly underwater and partly above water. To help take these photos, I have a device with a special remote shutter. Lemon sharks are not afraid. They swim only a couple of centimeters from the lens. I wait, and when the right moment comes, I take the picture. If you spend enough time on board Jim's vessel, sooner or later you'll meet the sharks up close. And as far as I'm concerned, the sooner the better. I can hardly wait to get to know them up close and in person. The bait placed in the water in plastic boxes did the trick. All kinds of sharks are now circling our boat. The captain maneuvers the boat into the proper position and issues the order. Go. At first, the lemon sharks keep a safe distance, then they start getting closer. Before I realize it, I'm surrounded by 2 to 2.5 meter long sharks. A few swim at an arm's length from me. They're literally encircling us. I've never seen so many sharks in one place. I take my first shot, a lemon shark at close proximity. An exciting subject, but I'm not shooting pictures mindlessly. I try to remain calm. After all, the best is yet to come. Jim didn't bring us here to splash around with lemon sharks. What happened next is a different story. The tiger shark. It's bigger, stronger, and more inquisitive than any other shark. Not many people know that tiger sharks can grow larger than great white sharks. The largest specimen ever caught was over 7 meters long. There is no sign of fear in its eyes. It does not get out of your way, does not go round you like the lemon shark. It demands its space. A tiger shark appears, then a second and a third. The atmosphere is getting tense. I'm only a couple of centimeters from one of the most dangerous sharks, and the only thing between us is my camera. The bait is getting the tiger sharks more and more agitated. While the lemon sharks just circled the plastic boxes politely, this female tiger shark just ripped off one of the boxes and disappeared with it into the deep. Thanks to Jim, I was able to get close to the sharks, and I'm deeply grateful. But I also know that prepared bait changes the animal's behavior. This was when I decided I was going to get close to sharks in their natural environment and observe them with the least amount of disturbance. At first, the task sounded impossible, but all I had to do was get on the right boat. This is the Andromeda, a diving vessel built with the utmost care to be somewhere between a luxury hotel and an ocean liner. She's a lot larger than Shearwater and can carry many more divers too, but the guests are still sleeping. The sun is rising. I set my alarm to 4:30, long before the official wake-up time. I have a good reason to get up this early. No matter what boat you're on, the important decisions are always made on the captain's bridge. And I personally like being there when such decisions are made. I learned in the Caribbean Sea that if I want to take great pictures, I have to get to great locations. That means I have to be on good terms with the captain. Many people say that the most important person on board is the chef. Well, I like my food, but for me, the captain and the dive guides come first. Thankfully, these two are already familiar with some of my pictures, and they know what I'm looking for. Rumi, that's the key word. Shab Rumi is a fantastic diving spot. If there's one place where you can really get close to sharks, this is it. It's a good thing the captain and the guide are in a good mood. They do not need much convincing to enter shark territory. Rumi, here we come. It's a wonderful feeling when a mammoth-sized boat weighing several thousand tons moves where you want her to. Our diving boat is an engineering marvel in her own right, but the real wonder is not in the engine room, it's under the boat. The Red Sea in Sudan is virtually untouched, while dozens of diving boats anchor at the diving sites of the Caribbean Sea. For some reason, this region has not really been discovered yet by the world. We're alone in these waters. No other boats in sight. As always, Andromeda is full of divers, happy people who've purchased their tickets for this ride months in advance. Finally, they can give themselves over to the wonders of nature, and in between dives, they can enjoy the chef's culinary creativity. All divers, wherever they may come from, speak the same language. We eat a lot, we talk, but when it's time to dive, I try to do my own thing, and not without reason. Sharks are shy creatures, and I need total calm for the experiment I'm about to carry out, and a water bottle from which I will first take a few sips. Taking a water bottle underwater, at first it might seem silly, but I have my reasons. The captain knows my plans, and he lets me take a Zodiac out by myself. Destination, the outer reef edge. My guide knows the best place. We're heading for the side of the reef that opens to the sea. The weather is impeccable. The sun is beating down hard, and the rays hit the water, illuminating the deep. The cliff wall drops hundreds of meters down, the outer wall of Rumi. The water is crystal clear. My first task is to find a ledge on the wall where I can sit comfortably. About 15 to 20 meters down, I find the perfect spot. Various sized schools of fish swim around me, and visibility is ideal. So far, no sharks in sight. But I know they are hiding in the deep blue water. They're watching me from a safe distance. They can sense my presence from the sound of my bubbles, but they do not come into sight. They're too cautious. And it's time to change that. I get out the water bottle and I start rolling it between my palms as fast as I can. The air bubbles stuck in the bottle give out a strange resonating sound, and the sound waves quickly disseminate through the sea. This low-frequency sound is eerily familiar to the sound of flopping fish. After a few seconds, the first shark shows up. In comparison to the sharks in the Caribbean Sea, these sharks see divers only on rare occasions. These are real wild specimens. I keep rolling the bottle, and more shark appear out of nowhere. When there are at least 7 or 8 of them cruising around me, I grab my camera. Grey reef sharks, a powerful predator with perfectly streamlined bodies. They're about 1.5 to 2 meters long, and it's obvious the resonating sound made them curious. Luckily, the flash of the camera does not scare them away. A couple of females are bolder than the others and swim only a few meters from me. The first photos are ready. My heart's pounding in my chest. The long wait and thorough preparation have brought expected results. Everywhere I look, I only see sharks. Only the back of the grey reef shark is grey. Its belly is as white as snow, and black spots are visible on its pectoral and tail fins. The grey reef shark is a cautious animal. It doesn't take risks unnecessarily. As soon as the sharks figure out that there's no easy prey here, they leave. The sharks disappear as quickly as they came. I'm left alone again. I still have plenty of air, so as soon as the reef sharks disappear, I descend a bit deeper down the wall. All of a sudden, the silhouette of an unmistakable creature appears. A hammerhead shark. I leave the wall behind and swim out to the open sea, and it pays off. I spot another hammerhead. There are two of them. I try to swim out to them, but unfortunately, they will not let me close. They keep a respectable distance, and when they've had enough of the camera's flashes, they disappear into the deep. My diving computer signals that it's time to go back. I ascend with excitement, but I cannot hit the surface right away. After a deep dive, I must make long deco stops. During one of these stops, I spot a shiny object among the coral branches. A hook. Are there fishermen then, even in this remote location? I thought nobody disturbed the marine life here, but it seems the opposite. Who could have cast this hook? I decide to investigate. Luckily, our boat stayed anchored by the Rumi Reef for several days. I kept an eye on the sea at all times until one day the fishermen I was expecting showed up. They came with tiny, rickety skiffs. It already surprised me that they had the guts to set sail in the open sea in these dinghies. Although there was not much movement, I was curious. The fishermen are apprehensive when they see me. I can tell they're not used to seeing people like us. Thanks to our captain's interpreting skills, they relax and show us their daily catch.
Tiger?
There are only a few groupers on the ice. No sharks, they say. But I notice a few fins drying on the deck.
Sharks over there. Do you often catch some sharks?
From sharks, no doubt about it. Dried shark fins keep for a long time, and they fetch a much higher price than fresh fish. We keep up a polite conversation, but my mind is already somewhere else. This means that even in these remote regions, they fish for sharks. I was mainly interested in how much shark the locals catch and which body part is in most demand. At first glance, there are no sharks at the Port Sudan fish market. But after some coaxing, what I want to see appears from under the counter. There are small sharks, large sharks, gutted and cleaned sharks, but you can also buy dried shark fins at a much higher price, naturally. Suddenly I get a tip. If I'm really interested in sharks, I should look elsewhere. Without hesitation, I jump into a local taxi. We leave the centre of town. The three-wheel rickshaw races at hair-raising speeds through the dusty streets. I'm a bit worried and hope it will not decide to fall apart with me in it. We're moving into less populated areas. Then the driver brakes suddenly and gets out. We must have arrived. To where exactly, I'm not sure. I hope I didn't bounce around all this way for nothing. I'm greeted at the house with a warm welcome, and I'm shown the way to the roof. Under the scorching sun, I'm met by a sight that exceeds my wildest imagination. Dozens of dried shark jaws and several sacks of shark fins. I want to know where the animals are from and what will happen to their other parts, but I do not receive much information. One thing is for sure, the sharks of the Red Sea are in danger. There must be a corner of the ocean where sharks can live in safety, and I'm heading to one of those corners. All is calm on the bridge. The helmsman is playing on his cell phone, and I'm playing with the GPS. I can't believe my eyes. According to the display, we're 120 kilometers west of Costa Rica's shores, which means, if this gadget is correct, and it usually is, that this is the Pacific Ocean. This time I'm travelling on a boat called Undersea Hunter, a befitting name. I'm also on the hunt. I'm searching for places where sharks can live undisturbed. I studied maps until I found a place in the ocean where this could be a reality. My destination is none other than Cocos Island, lying 550 kilometers from the American coast. Cocos Island is actually the top of a volcanic mountain that rises from the seabed thousands of meters to the surface of the ocean. Its marine life is unique. It's time to see this wonder with my own eyes. I figure this is what the ocean must have looked like when the first person peeked under the water's surface. Everywhere I look, I just see schools of fish, giant schools of fish. Some are so huge that you feel tiny next to them. It's a strange feeling when the ocean swallows you up whole. The inhabitants of the ocean are not afraid of me. Some of them have grown to be quite humongous. This giant whiptail stingray, for example, is so huge that it barely fits into my viewfinder. But I don't have to wait long for the sharks. Here's the first hammerhead shark. It's not as scared as the ones in the Red Sea. It's swimming straight towards the island, and it's not alone. No need for bait, no need to shake my water bottle here. These sharks just keep coming. I can photograph them at close range. Cocos Island is also called the Island of Sharks. This is one of the last places on Earth where you can still marvel at the hammerhead's massive procession. I'm in luck. Thanks to good visibility, hundreds of sharks squeeze into my viewfinder at once. I did not travel this far for nothing. Cocos Island gave me a glimpse into what the ocean must have looked like before man took over. Cocos Island had one more big surprise for me. Here it is, the white-tip reef shark. It's not so big, but its behavior makes it quite a strange creature. It's one of the few shark species that's able to lie motionless on the sea floor for long periods of time. Then, as dusk sets in, something happens. The white-tip reef sharks come to life as if prompted by a magic wand. The shark keeps hitting its nose into crevices in the rock. It seems to be looking for something. By the time it's dark, the white-tip reef sharks form into schools and the raid begins. These predators hunt in groups. The school pulls me in as if it's a magnet. The sharks seem to be wandering aimlessly over the sea bottom when suddenly something happens. They come to an abrupt stop near a cliff. The smaller ones jam themselves into the cliff crevices and drive out the fish spending the night there. Around the cliff, the larger sharks form an impervious wall. No fish is able to penetrate this living vortex. The following day I land on Cocos Island, and the first thing I run into is, befittingly, a coconut. Coconut palms line up along the beach, but don't be fooled. These are not actual coconuts, but buoys confiscated from poachers. There's so many of them that a rope bridge is built out of them over one of the rivers. It's a strange feeling crossing the bridge. Does this mean the sharks are not safe here either? One of the guardians of the nature preserve willingly answers my questions. Sadly, his words are not promising. From their small zodiacs, the Cocos Island National Park Nature Preserve guardians protect the waters close to the shore. They check fishing boats entering the protected areas and confiscate all fishing and angling equipment. The biggest problem is caused by so-called longline fishing. The fixed trail system, equipped with bait and sometimes hundreds of hooks, destroys marine life indiscriminately, including sharks. All these large sacks contain confiscated fishing and angling equipment. This is not even a year's worth of equipment. It took only 4 months to collect. These nature preserve guardians perform a very important job. Without them, Cocos Island would fall prey to poachers.
215 miles.
I leave Cocos Island with mixed emotions. The time spent among the sharks is an unforgettable experience. I applaud the determination of nature preservers. But what can 2 or 3 rubber boats really do against the fishermen's well-equipped fleets? It seems to me like a battle which cannot be won. It's a well-known fact that Costa Rican fishermen do not catch sharks for their own consumption. Locals do not eat shark fin soup. I've decided to continue my journey and follow the shark shipments. My next stop is Asia. My curiosity about sharks has brought me to another exotic island, though Bali is nothing like Cocos Island. This is no surprise, since Cocos Island is virtually uninhabited, while the population of Bali is close to 4 million. Every available piece of land is used for growing rice. I'm interested in how much of this food is from the sea, especially from sharks. People living by the seaside mainly live off fish. Looking at their catch, they do not seem to pose a threat to larger predators. Mackerel can comfortably feed a family, and the fishermen do not endanger the biological equilibrium of the sea. There are no sharks at the fish market either. Tiny fish and smoked mackerel are everywhere, but I don't see any shark. This makes my mind boggle, since Indonesia is one of the main receiving and distributing countries of shark fins. It looks like I'm in the wrong place. I continue my search. Dance, music and the arts are an important part of the lives of the local people. All visitors are met with a cavalcade of colours, shapes and sounds, even if they're here to see the sea and not this colourful bedlam. Bali is not only popular among divers, this island is the mecca of wave riders. Surfers enjoy the waves with careless abandon without paying much attention to the creatures hiding below. Suddenly a large animal stirs beneath the surface. The surfers don't see it. The mysterious creature gets closer and ends up only a few meters from them. Suddenly it emerges from the water. The mysterious animal is not a shark but a dugong, a harmless and endangered sea mammal. Nothing can disturb the surfers' amusement. I continue my search under the surface of the water, but in Bali everything seems to be different than usual. This is what a diving boat looks like, and here is its engine. Our guides secure the odd-looking contraption with expert hands, and they're not intimidated even when they have to wrestle the boat filled with divers out of the surf zone. Good thing there was enough space for our cameras on the boat. I'm anxious to get to know the waters around Bali. My first impressions are wonderful. Thanks to the strong currents, the sea in this area is rich in nutrients and marine life. Although I don't meet any sharks, I have nothing to complain about. Their close relatives, the rays, show up. And this includes the largest of this species, the manta rays. They're huge animals. The wingspan of the larger specimens can reach up to 6 meters. It's amazing to be so close to manta rays, but the more I dived, the more peculiar it became that I was not seeing any sharks. Where can they be? In Bali, we got a tip-off. If we wanted to see sharks, we had to be in the ferry marina at 10 in the morning and wait. My cameraman and friend Zsolt Sársti was there at the given time. What you're about to see is disturbing. The ferry arrives right on schedule. The boat barely stops and people start getting off. It takes some time for the dozens of travellers and their luggage to make their way ashore, but the women just keep waiting, and what they're waiting for is in the bottom of the boat. Zsolt, the cameraman, thinks he may have come in vain, but finally the boat's mysterious load comes to light. The tip-off was correct. Dozens of gutted and definned thresher sharks and mako sharks lie in the cargo hold. The ferry crew begins unloading skillfully. This is not the first time they've done this. About 6 years ago, a group of fishermen discovered a place in the open sea where every spring thresher sharks gather in large numbers. The exact location is a secret to this day, but what's not a secret is that 90% of the sharks caught are pregnant females. No doubt about it, the fishermen have found the spawning ground. The result of such blatant fishing is already noticeable. Each year, fewer and fewer sharks are caught. The women are happy to take home the fresh meat. A well-developed thresher shark can feed an entire family for weeks. But the women only buy a few of the sharks. Most of them are packed into pickup trucks and hauled away. I wonder where they're going. After some inquiries, we find out where the loot is processed. Everything at the plant runs like clockwork. The sharks are quickly weighed, the fins are chopped off, washed and packed separately. The dismembered bodies of sharks are frozen and shipped somewhere else by boat. Shark fin. This was not the first or the last time I encountered it. My search for sharks continues in the Southeast Asian islands. This time, my destination is an area of Papua New Guinea under Indonesian authority, Irian Jaya. Jakarta International Airport. Scores of shops offer dried shark fins in the departure lounge. No wonder. Indonesia is one of the largest exporters of shark fins, with annual exports of over 1,300 tons. Most of the fins are normal-sized, but there are some really huge ones too. These fins come from the largest fish on Earth, the whale shark. I'm here because of this species. I'm travelling on the Ondina, along the western shores of Papua New Guinea. This is the Raja Ampat National Park, about half the size of Hungary. The sailboat is gorgeous, the crew is friendly, and the sea is calm and warm. But this picture is idyllic only on the surface. I've come here to photograph the largest species of shark on Earth before it's exterminated. The shark fin business does not discriminate among species, and the whale shark is no exception. This small boat specializes in shark fishing. The fishermen gladly show me the dried fins. As we talk, tons of salted shark meat is being dried on board.
How much?
1 kilo. 1 kilo.
100.
1 million.
A kilo of dried shark fins can fetch up to $100. In restaurants and shops, they sell for almost 10 times as much. The shark fin business is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and obviously it's flourishing.
The same price.
Yeah, probably so, yeah.
So what is the whale shark's chance of survival? I go on with my investigation. I meet some more fishermen. However, they are unlike other fishermen I've met so far. These fishermen have an entirely different relationship with the sharks. This is their boat, or more specifically, their boat and their home. The men are at sea day and night. They live here. The catch of the night, thousands of tiny fish are drying on nets. When the fishermen see us coming, they start acting strangely. They throw the dried fish back into the sea. They do this to attract much larger fish. The whale shark, also called the Rhincodon or rasp tooth, is the largest fish that lives in the oceans. Mature individuals can reach 12 meters long. This huge shark has no intention of harming me. These peaceful giants feed on tiny krill and fish. They are completely harmless. The fishermen could easily catch the whale sharks, but they don't. They've discovered they're better off showing these marvelous animals to divers. Just a little later, other sharks show up from out of the deep. Whale sharks are a reminder that man and shark can exist side by side. The inhabitants of the islands, the locals, the indigenous people, do not necessarily have to kill sharks in order to survive. Live sharks are worth a lot more than dead ones. This is a very important thing to remember. They swallow up the fish a few centimeters from me. Then, as quickly as they came, they disappear. The whale sharks are gone. I am very grateful to sharks, not only for the adventures and experiences, but also for the prizes I've won at international photography contests. I've learnt a lot from sharks, and I want to share this knowledge with others. I'm a photographer who alone is not able to stop the shark fin business. But whenever I'm able, I organise exhibitions and screenings. I do whatever I can. Exhibition visitors often ask me one question. They wonder whether I'm afraid of sharks. Are they not dangerous to us humans? At times like these, one boat always comes to mind. I've seen numerous wrecks, but she is the most beautiful. This is the Umbria. She lies on the bottom of the Red Sea at a depth of 30 meters. I've dived down to her several times, but I cannot get enough of her beauty. These are only her outsides. Those who know her better know there are dark secrets hidden inside. This secret is presented only to those who dare to enter inside the 153-meter-long dark wreckage. These are bombs. 5,500 tons of explosives. I'm swimming above 360,000 tons of live explosives. The Umbria was carrying ammunition during the Second World War on the way to Eritrea when she sank. Now she's a ticking time bomb. This wreck reminds me of the devastation we're capable of doing, the unbelievably huge threat we pose to ourselves. This is the Sanganeb Reef, a few kilometers from the wreck of the Umbria. It's a legendary site. Hans Haas, the famous diver, claims that he saw great white sharks here in the 1950s. The world has changed irrevocably since then. We kill close to 100 million sharks a year. If we continue, we will drive these wonderful creatures to extinction.
Check at 10 meter, put your transducer in the water and turn the LinQuest on as soon as possible so we can test it.
I cannot travel back in time, but I can bid farewell to the shallow waters. I'm going diving, but this time not from a boat. This is the deep sea submarine. Until now, I've ventured only to a depth of about 50 to 60 meters during my dives. Now it's time to say goodbye to such shallow waters. The deep sea submarine is able to descend to 500 meters. 3 people can fit in the glass ball. The deep sea quickly leaves the waters where the sun still penetrates and descends to the ever-dark deep. The sun never enters these waters. We leave the cliff wall behind and meet sizable groupers at 120 meters. Anglerfish and groupers look similar to their shallow water relatives, perhaps only their coloring is different. At 190 meters, a deep-sea jellyfish crosses the beams of the spotlights, and at 200 meters, giant sea spiders appear. At 220 meters, it feels like we're crossing an invisible line. Strange-looking creatures are illuminated by the lights of the submarine. Some of them have been recorded by science, but most of them are still unknown to man. It's as if we're on a different planet. A giant ray appears in front of the remote-controlled robotic cameras. The giant quickly swims away and darkness takes over. Deep sea is at 300 meters, when out of the pitch black, something white begins to take shape. I can't believe my eyes. There's no mistaking it. It's a deep sea shark. The sluggish predator is more than 2 meters long. Our lights completely blind the animal. Deep sea gently maneuvers closer, so I'm able to marvel at this shark from only a few centimeters away. Several hundred meters below the surface, these majestic predators could live peacefully until now. We humans are temporary visitors here. If anywhere, it's here that the harmonious coexistence between sharks and people is possible. As for me, I made it. When I'd nearly given up hope, I finally found it, the final shelter of sharks.